you will break those connectors if you do not unplug it. Don't ask me how I know. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's a Monday, post-harvest, post-fieldwork Monday. Dad finished up the rest of the tillage on Saturday down there to Berkey, so we're pretty well got all that wrapped up. We need to get the tractor back here, but we'll get to that. We're going to work on this combine here a little bit today. We've got some shields and stuff we need to take off while we're in here. Some little stuff, but like this one here comes off, and look at how much crap is underneath there, and this one comes off, and these pieces off the feeder house, and so there's enough stuff. We're gonna just pick around with that. But first, this morning I've got some errands to run. My truck here, I think it needs a new battery. It's been starting a little sluggish and not so great sometimes. This battery is not all that old. I put it in January of 17, so I guess it's 4 years old is what it is. I'm going to take it out and put a new one in. I don't know the 100% that that's my trouble. It could be some bigger electrical issues, but this is the cheap, easy place to start and see if it fixes it. So I'm going to get that out and take a different vehicle, get a haircut, run to the bank, do some other stuff here this morning, and then we'll work on this when I get back. Why Chevy decided to tuck this battery clear back in this corner under the brace that goes in here, like that corner, instead of putting it right there, like, I have no idea. I don't understand it. Make it a pain in the butt to get to, but it is what it is. I'm back. Got a new battery for my truck, so I'm gonna get that put in, and then start working on this combine some more. Yeah, it's noon already, but I had a productive morning. Got battery, haircut, lunch. We're good to go. The terminals on the old battery were pretty clean, but I'm going to spray them with a little protectant. Anyway. Even remembered to put the brace back in so my truck doesn't fall apart. I assume it'll start. How about that? Now we'll see if it stays charged and doesn't die, then I'll know it was a battery and not something else going on. Okay, let's do something a little bit more important. Start taking some stuff off of the combine here. We need a 10 millimeter for those two, 13 millimeter for those two, and a 15 millimeter for most of those. Yeah. Okay, I didn't mean to drop that, but we're gonna make a pile over here anyway. A little trick of the trade for me anyway. Put the nuts back where you take them off of. Otherwise, you'll lose them. Yuck. There's that one. All right, one on the front now. You can see this plastic piece on the top here got a little nicked up. That's from when those fingers broke on our feed drum on the draper head. The fingers would break, and then before they fall down inside, they'd stick out and flail around and catch that. All right, there's those pieces off the front of the feeder house. And you guys remember when we were running beans way back a long time ago, 1st of October or something like that, and we found a piece that had gone through the combine. This is where it was from. I remember I showed you this then, that where did this come from video. You can see that that piece is cracked right through there and all the way across. So we will have to fix that, which means this drum is going to have to come out here while we've got it in the shop. So we'll get to that, but you can see this side's a whole solid plate, and this side it's half gone. So also will be a pretty good opportunity to check out those bearings, which I'm pretty sure we've replaced once before, but we'll look at them while we've got it out and see if they need to be done again or not. Ugh. Found an unicorn. We'll have to look at everything else too. I replaced these chains on the feeder house here, I think 2 years ago, so they should be all right. I've never had any trouble with these cast slats on here. On the older combines, they were steel slats, and they would bend sometimes. Never had any trouble with any of these, but we will look through them and make sure. And just make sure all of that stuff is in good shape. This chain's going to get replaced, so we might as well take that one off now. Right? Yep, might as well. So some of you may be thinking it's a waste to replace these chains every year, just lube them up and keep going, right? And I would normally agree with you, but first year we had this combine, I tried to let one of these chains go and run it the second year, and it broke halfway through harvest. So if you look here, I don't know how well it'll show up in the video, but I'm not hardly moving the end down there at all. There's a lot of slop in there, and if I try and turn it, like, you should not be able to turn your chains into a half circle like that. There's pretty significant wear in all of these pins and rollers in here, and that's what lets it arch like that. So that's why we put new ones on every year. It's just not worth the downtime and the problems that it causes in season. So we'll be getting a new chain. All right, I've been doing a little picking. Some of this stuff underneath in the feeder house and all the sprouted wheat. What's next? Kind of keep moving back. There is a shield or cover right here that needs to come off, but I've got to lower the feeder house to get in there to get to that one. So we'll get to that, and we can take these two off for the top of the feeder house as well. I also want to open the grain tank covers, and there's some shielding in there that I want to take out while we're working on stuff and cleaning, but I'm kind of just moving from the front to the back here to see what all we can take out. Right here's one, and we can take a couple of concave sections out, so maybe I'll do that. Oh, that doesn't look like a very big pile, but I found out a bunch of nasty growing sprouted stuff clear back up in there. Anyway, part of this whole cleaning process is an inspection process. So I was picking some stuff out of here, up in there, and then I was looking at this auger tube right here. Come on. So this auger that's inside of this thing, that is our tailings return. It comes from the other side over there, and the stuff coming out of that refresher, and then it kind of distributes itself across the shoe here so it doesn't overload the one side. Well, I noticed that this is cracked. There's a weld here that's broke and kind of all the way around. So while it wasn't really hurting anything, it's something that needs fixed. And that one should be fairly easy to weld up. So we'll have to take this impact plate sensor off and maybe take them bolts out there and get that lined up and weld it back together. Underneath here, taking this cover off. Right there. Ugh. That is the bottom of the clean grain elevator. So all the corn that ends up, or grain, wheat, beans, corn, whatever it is, that ends up in the grain tank comes down through here. If you look way up in there, you can see the bottom of the sieve. So as it falls down through there, it funnels down into this auger. So I open this up so that when we wash inside, all of it has somewhere to go. It runs down through the bottom here. Plus I can look at this auger and see what kind of shape it's in. A little thin, but not terrible. It's got life left in it. Yeah. So don't worry about that. The fact that I can move it that much means that our clean grain chain over there is getting a little loose. We may have to look at that a little closer. All right, after a brief bit of procrastination, after I did get a little bit more stuff done, more dirt everywhere. There's dirt everywhere. It's time to open that grain tank up and lower the feeder house so I can get some more pieces off here. This all needs cleaned out too. We'll get to that. Better watch it while it's unfolding. Make sure we don't hit our heater up there or get too close to it. Should be alright. I don't really want to leave it like that overnight because it's a little close, but It'll be fine for what we're doing. All right. I probably should have brought some wrenches. Oh well. Let's see. So these covers here come out, but I got to figure out where the plug's at and get the wire harnesses disconnected for these way pads that are in here. We need to take that cover off so we can get down in there to clean out. And we may take a cover off there. We'll see what else we can find. These two are the big ones, though. Well, that looks like fun. Yeah. All right, those covers are out. It's quite warm up here. I need to get the fans on, stir some of this air up, push the hot stuff down. Our augers look to be in pretty good shape here. Definitely can see wear on them. See all these lines here, and here. That's wear, but they're still pretty thick. John Deere offers what they call an extended wear package on their grain handling side of stuff, or the unloading system, and that's something that we always get or try to get on our combines. And what that gives you is thicker flighting here, so it wears a lot longer. Still in pretty good shape. I also want to fold this auger down. So this auger is attached to this rod that is moved with this arm. It's part of the power folding grain tank covers here. When it folds, this arm pushes on this support here and it folds that auger down. Yeah, so it's not so tall. But our mass flow sensor is in there. The part of the combine that determines what our yield is for our yield monitor is inside there. It's actually this monitor here. I want to be able to get in there and look at it. I want to look at the augers around it. I want to inspect that, see how dirty it is, and be able to clean out in there. So I pulled that pin out, and I've got to fold this down. Hopefully it's not too terribly heavy. We're going to find out. Oh yeah. Sweet. Not heavy at all. Only gonna go that far, but not heavy. They've got it chained to this so that it won't fold any farther than that. But that shock took the weight of that really well. But anyway, you can see in here now. So our corn is coming up the clean grain elevator right here, this paddle chain. That's the one that's tied to that cross auger underneath, and it kind of throws it against this plate. And oops, sorry, this plate right here. This is the mass flow sensor, and basically the impact of the corn hitting against that is what it's measuring. It's using that in a calculation to taking into account moisture and travel speed and all kinds of different things to determine the yield. Looks clean. That's a different design than it used to be, like on the old 60 series that we had before. You could get dirt and stuff packed in behind this, and then it wouldn't move right. So not much to get in there, but there's a little bit of dirt down in there, or corn and fines and crap. So, but the auger looks good, really nice and thick on that edge, so that's not wore out. The drive dogs don't look too bad. They got a little edge to them, but they're not bad. So that all looks good. At least we can get in there to clean it out now. There's some stuff packed in back here. Yeah. All right, I am going to take this cover off. And that is why we took this cover off. Yikes, I would say that belt is due for replacement. She's cracking pretty good there. You can see right out down to the bottom there. This belt is a pretty long one, but it's behind the clean grain elevator there, so it's a little bit difficult to get to. But yeah, she's seen better days. That one needs replaced. Put it on the list. That fire extinguisher needs to come off. This fire extinguisher is a water fire extinguisher, so it will freeze we leave it on there all winter. That would be bad. And now we can get to our stuff on the feeder house. Oh gosh, look at all that crap packed way up in there. All right, we need 18, 24, 18 millimeter. Another one out. Now we can get to the top of our feeder house and inspect stuff a little bit. Suppose I can show you a little bit more closely how this works here now. Yeah, hold on, let me get down. So I showed you this front feeder house drum and chain here, and basically this rolls just like this. Now that we got our drive chain off, we can spin this by hand. It conveys all the material in underneath there. Goes right up through the bottom. Takes it up to the top here, where we have our feed accelerator. This drum here is our feed accelerator. If I loosen the tension on the drive belt for that, I ought to be able to spin it. But basically this spins kind of like that. Can't spin it very well, but you get the point. But that spins around really fast, grabs the stuff coming out the top of the feeder house conveyor, and throws it then into the front of the rotor. And then the rotor was what we saw on the side here. Up in there. So the material's coming in the front up there. And this inside this rotor with these elements on it right here, that spins, goes the other way. It spins really fast and it grinds the ears of corn, the pods, the wheat, whatever, against these concaves. The idea is that the grain falls through and everything else just keeps moving through the back. All right, well, I'm getting most of the stuff taken off here. The next thing I want to do is start getting ready to take these, the chafer, the sieves, the pre-cleaners, all of that stuff out. So we got to get this cover off of here. We got to take these pieces off the side and these bolts here, and then it comes out. But this is a two-person job, so I'm not going to do it by myself. But we can get it at least ready to come out. Okay, I got the bolts out. I also took these whole side vents out. I almost was going to say this thing is ready to come out, but there is one more thing that we need to do. Very important. Unplug it. There's one there, and there's one down there. You will break those connectors if you do not unplug it. Don't ask me how I know. All right, well, I did indeed get this loose and pulled it back a little bit so it's ready to come out. Brock's coming tomorrow morning, so I'm just going to leave this sit here and he can help me get it out tomorrow. Just over here looking at this side of the combine. This belt right here is that one that goes up into the grain tank there. It's a little bit difficult to find a good view to see it, but right up through there you can see it. This big long belt right here. It looks like it should be fairly easy to get off actually, because it's not behind any other ones. We don't have to take anything else off to get to it. So there's a tensioner right here we can loosen up, and then we should be able to change that one. So I'm going to start making a parts list, and we'll get stuff ordered eventually. I'm not going to do it right now, but at least a list of part numbers and what we need, so that when we are ready for that stuff, we can get it here. Plus, I think I'm about out of shields and stuff to take off. I'm sure there's some that I've missed somewhere, but we're getting there. I've got a pile over here, and I got a pile on the other side of the combine. So I found quite a few here, but we're getting closer. My plan at the moment is to have Brock help me get those sieves and the internals out tomorrow morning, and then we'll get him set up with the power washer again and let him go to town on this tomorrow. Get as much of the heavy stuff off as we can. I will spend quite a bit of time probably actually in the shop here with a hose, just hosing stuff down and rinsing, because once you hit it with a power washer and you get everything broke loose and it just sprays all over the machine everywhere and stuff, you need to just use a hose or low pressure with the power washer to rinse it down to the ground and get it off of the machine. So after another good day of power washing, I'm gonna guess a lot of the cleaning is gonna be done inside here, but that's just a guess. So I'm gonna start it back up, fold that grain tank cover back up because I don't like it that close to that heater for too long. So we'll do that, and then I'll start working on my parts list. Well, I accomplished something today. I got a lot of dirt off of the combine sitting on the floor, and I got a lot of shields off of it. But I feel like it wasn't a very exciting video. Sorry. That's the way some of these are gonna go. Some of them will be good, some of them will not. But you guys wanted to see it, so I'm gonna keep making them, showing you. It will get better as we are actually, changing oils and doing some more of the actual mechanical work instead of just picking dirt off and cleaning. That's just kind of what I do for a while here. So my goal right now is to have this combine done and out of the shop by Christmas. So you're gonna get a bunch of these videos. We do need to get the corn head hooked up though. Really most of the time, or a lot of the time, is gonna be spent working on the corn head and not the actual combine, because I got more to do to that than I do to the combine itself. So anyway, tomorrow Brock is coming in the morning and he's gonna be here most of the day. So I'm gonna have him help me pull those chafer sieve parts out, and we're gonna back the combine outside and do some more power washing on it. And then Dad and I might go to Berkey and get a tractor. Since we're done with the tillage down there, we might try and get the tractors moved back. We got the 7520 down there with the mower on it yet too. And we'll keep working on stuff. So that's my plan. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe buttons for me, please. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully with a little more activity anyway.